Alright friends, today we are going to start our polar bear project, and we're going to be using a few different types of lines. We're going to talk about some geometric shapes that we will use to draw our polar bear, and then we're also going to be doing some painting with this project, probably not today but during our next art time. So to start on our polar bear, we're going to draw everything with a pencil first, and then we will go on to trace in just a few minutes. So to begin our polar bear, we're actually going to start down at the very bottom of our paper. We're going to make his feet, and to make his paws, we're going to make two curved lines, just like this. And remember, you want them to match as close as possible because they are his feet and they would be very much the same. After you make his paws, we're going to put a couple of lines to make his toes. We're going to put two lines in the middle here and two lines in the middle there. Then we are going to make a really big arched line that goes from this side of our polar bear to this side of our polar bear. So I'm going to start here at his foot, and I'm going to come up and around and back down. That is going to be our polar bear's body. Next, we're going to put another curved line, this one much smaller, right here in the middle. So now he has two front legs, and this is going to be his back. Here in the middle is where we're going to draw his head, and this is where our geometric shapes come in. Geometric shapes are shapes with names, so shapes like circles, squares, triangles, rectangles, those are all in a category of shape called geometric shapes. And we also call those math shapes. So we're going to start in the middle of our polar bear with a nice big circle. This is going to be the outside of our polar bear's head, just like that. Next, we're going to put two curved lines to make his ears. Put one here, one there, and then we're going to go ahead and double those up so that he has insides of his ears also. Next, we're going to put another circle, this one a medium size, right in the middle, and this is going to be our polar bear's snoot. We can go ahead and put two smaller circles right over here. These will be his eyes, so I'm going to put a circle here, and then another one on this side. And then in the middle of his snoot, I'm going to put a V shape. This is going to be his nose, and then a curve right here at the top. Just like that. The very last thing, I'm going to put a small little oval right here on the top of his nose, and that's actually going to be a reflection. And we're going to put another small oval in his eye here, and then one matching over there. And those are going to be the highlights in his eyes. Once we have this done, I will give you a black oil pastel. Remember, oil pastels can be messy, so you want to be sure that you're not smearing them all over your paper. So I'm going to start by just going right over the top of my pencil lines. And we're going to trace all of our polar bear with our black oil pastel, being very careful that we don't smear it by rubbing our hand on it. so I'm getting close here. I'm being very careful that I don't press my wrist on it when I'm drawing. I'm making sure that I'm lifting my wrist up so that I'm not rubbing it all over my polar bear's face, because otherwise he's going to look very dirty and we don't want him to look dirty. Your polar bear paper is actually going to be bigger than mine is, so yours will be a little bit easier to do the tracing on because your polar bear will be bigger. Okay. Now that we have all of those lines traced, I'm going to go ahead and color in his eye underneath that circle that we left. Do the same thing over here. And I'm going to go ahead and color in his nose also. But I'm not going to color in that little oval that we left. We're going to leave that. So he should have a white dot here, here, and here. Now, this will probably be as far as we get today on our first day. We will pick up where we left off during our next art time. And we're going to work on adding some shading to our polar bear to make him look more realistic.